Howdy, folks. So, I'm all alone. So, Rebecca is at Dice Tower Con, and I am unfortunately at home. I had to work. It's busy time for me at work, but fortunately, the girls were able to head off into Florida and join the con, which starts tomorrow morning. So, let me show you, just quickly, what I was getting tweeted while I was at work today. Working hard, by the way. One moment. So I'm going to be the tech guy, so you're going to have to stare at the side of my head quite often tonight. So this is what I got to see while I was at work. So hold on one second. Let me do some more technical stuff, and I'll get right back with you. One moment. All right, I'm all set up now. So let me get back here. All right, so we got lots on the agenda tonight. So things that we're going to go over is we're going to talk a little bit about the channel quickly. Then we're going to go over all our new plays. So since we last spoke together amongst ourselves, Rebecca and I, well, Rebecca has played 16 new games, and I've played 17 new games. So, that's a lot of games. And I want to get Luza and those Murph guys off my screen. Alright, so 17 new games that I've played. So I'm going to go through these quickly so that we're not spending all night talking about new games, although I do enjoy talking about new games because I love playing new games. So let me look over at the thing. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to start with games that we played before we went on the cruise. So as you may know, for those that you watched recently, we went on the BGG at Sea cruise last week. We just got back Saturday. So we played 4 new games before we left for the cruise, and then on the cruise I played 13 new games. So I'd like to go over, we'll go through them quickly. So first game up is That's a Question. It's a game, family weight game. It's kind of a party game. It's one of those, I guess, getting to know, kind of getting to know each other kind of game. What it presents to you is it asks a question. You have 3 different questions you can choose from, and then you give the person you're asking the question of 2 options based on these cards that you have in your hand, and they secretly pick which one they think is the best, and everyone else kind of votes for which ones they think they're going to pick. So there's many games in this genre, but this one's kind of family weight. It's got cute little, I guess, squirrel guys on your score sheet. So this is more of a family, kids-ish weight game, although it does have a handful of questions that I wouldn't say are kid-appropriate, but kind of wouldn't make much sense to the kids. There's some questions about drinking and beer and things like that. Nothing super inappropriate, but something that would confuse them. Nessa ended up asking the question about beer, and I don't even know if she knew even know what beer is. So, a real good game. It went over really well with the whole family. We played it with our Rebecca's non-gamer parents, and it went over well. So, a good little lightweight family game. All right, onward to the next one. This is not new to us, but the expansion is new to us. We played the Lorenzo Il Magnifico expansion. It adds, if you're familiar with the game, there's several towers that you can purchase cards from. It adds an additional tower that's kind of like, if you ever played Dominion Black Market, it kind of gives you a taste of all the, it's a mixture of all the other 4 towers, and it adds a 5th tower that you can buy things from. It also adds an additional player, which I don't know if we'll ever use, but to us, it greatly improved the game. Even with the 2-player game isn't that tight, but it opened up more options. It gives you more things to do. When you go to one of the towers in Lorenzo, you have to kind of pay a penalty to go there. So it gives you a chance to get a card, potentially, that someone else has sort of blocked from you. So, great expansion. If you like Lorenzo, I suggest picking up the expansion. It's called the Houses of the Renaissance. Okay. Next up is, going through these quickly because there's a lot of them. Dragon Castle. It's a abstract game based on the Mahjong tiles that everyone's played on their computers from the 90s. It's an abstract game where you basically drafting these tiles and you're building out your village, I think it is, in the most efficient manner possible. You're building up, has a lot of spatial aspects of the drafting the tiles as well as building up your village. You get more points the higher up you make your village and things like that. So it's a really great abstract game. I actually enjoyed this one more than I enjoy Azul because it just seems like it has a little more going on than Azul. Azul, you're drafting the tiles and you kind of just put them on your board, whereas there's a lot more of strategy where you put the tiles and there's kind of a pressure aspect because the longer you draft the same kind of tiles before you lock them in, it's kind of set collection-ish. So if you wait longer, you have the potential of getting more points, but you might get blocked out of building it the way you want to build it. So great little abstract game. It's got a little more oomph than Azul, so I like it quite a bit. Rebecca loved it as well. I still think she might like Azul better, but I don't know. All right. And last but not least is Council of Four. Council of Four is the latest and greatest, the reprint. Colt Mini's been reprinting games recently, and this is kind of an older game. I think it came out, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. They recently reprinted it. I grabbed it up because the other one was out of print, obviously, and love it. Love this game. This is a great, great game. It reminds me a lot of Royals. If you played Royals, it's like Royals Plus. There's a lot of set collection and things like that, but what I especially like about it is as you build up your area on the board, they chain off each other. So if you lock down a location, every location adjacent to that gives you a bonus. So there's some advantages of how you build out the board, but there's also some bonuses for going to different places on the board, so you have to kind of balance what areas you control versus getting all those extra bonuses from adjacent locations. So, really good game. I highly recommend it. Council of Four. All right. Onward. Here we go. There's a lot more people I thought there would be tonight. You guys should be playing games at Dice Tower. Here they have open gaming tonight. You guys should go play games. All right. Now onward to the ones that are new to us that we played at the cruise. But before I go into that, I got a little video. One moment. Some pictures from the cruise. Now these pictures are going to fly by pretty quickly. So here's what I recommend. You can slow down the video speed if you really want to look at the pictures. Or you can pause or whatever and catch up to me later. But here they go. They're going to fly by fairly quickly because I didn't want to spend the whole video showing you the cruise pictures. So give me one moment and I'll get that going. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. I'll be back in a moment. I am back. So let me do a little more housekeeping. Give me one moment. I apologize. I got to straighten things out. Get back where I can work again. All right. Well, there you go. There was the cruise. Before I go over the games, I want to talk a little bit about the BGG at Sea cruise. So this was Rebecca and I's first cruise. So take that in mind when I talk about how amazing it was. It was over the top, super incredible, amazing. We never, obviously, without going on a cruise, I can't really compare it to any other cruise, but it blew me away. It was awesome. It was the food was amazing. The shore excursions were amazing. It was just visually overwhelming how amazing everything looked. All the mountains and the forests, and we went on a train ride, and it was awesome. The fact that it was a board game cruise was kind of a filler, if that makes sense. When we had nothing else to do, when we weren't going to a show, or we weren't on an excursion, or we weren't eating dinner or whatever, that's when we played board games. So the board game just kind of filled in the holes in time where we didn't really have anything going on. A lot of times it was at night after the shows were done, or during the day when we were like traveling at sea, when there wasn't really much to see. So the board game thing was a bonus, but I wouldn't say it was like the whole theme of the cruise was board games. It was just an extra. I think I would have been almost as happy just having a regular cruise. So bonus, I mean, it was great. We knew a handful of people who were there, and played some games with met some new people and things like that. So it was awesome. But the board game was actually a backseat to the trip. So, I highly recommend it. I mean, it really honestly wasn't that much extra to do a board game cruise. I mean, we paid a little bit to be able to use the board game library and to be able to use the gaming area. But we could just as easily, we played a couple of games away from the gaming area. It was convenient to be able to go in and pick up a game and sit down and play and not being interrupted with confused people wondering why we had this massive board game on the table and it's not anything they recognize. And it was nice. It was amazing. We're going to the Dice Tower cruise in January. That one's in the Caribbean, and it's going to be different. I don't know if the sights are going to blow us away like they did in Alaska and Canada, but I'm curious. And we're going to know a lot more people on that cruise, so it may be that the board games are more of a factor. The board gaming's going to be more of a factor on that cruise, but I don't know. We'll see. So let's see if we got any questions. James asked, did I play an 18XX? I'm not going to spoil my list as I'm about to go over, but maybe. Let's see what else we got. No more questions. All right. So here we go. Here's the games that were new to us on the cruise. So we kind of either inadvertently or just subconsciously kind of played a lot of games that I've been trying to decide whether I want to buy or not. So about half the games ish were games that I've considered buying, but didn't for whatever reason. And so I took the opportunity to play a lot of these to see if they're worth buying. Come to find out, my instincts were right. And most of these, that half of the games that we tried, that I've been trying to decide whether to buy or not, I made the correct decision in not buying them because they didn't blow us away. I mean, they were okay. I mean, almost all the games we played were good. It's just not like worth buying and putting them into our collection. The other half of the games is newish games that we tried out, and just because they were available and they were new. So here we go. So this is completely in no particular order. I just kind of wrote down a list of games. So here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Let me go. All right. So here. All right. First one up is. One moment. First game up is the new hotness that is Reef. So Reef is the latest and greatest from Next Move Games, which is, I guess, a sub-company, however you want to say it, of Plan B Games that made Azul. So this is the second game in their, I guess, light, easy to pick up kind of abstract games. I don't know, but they have the same kind of feel to them. So Reef, what Reef is it's another kind of puzzly game. So you're basically drafting cards, and you play a card, and it lets you put little discs, I guess, little things. They're weird shaped they remind me a little bit of kind of the Ethnos pieces. They're kind of clunky, hard plastic pieces, kind of like, and they stack up. So basically, you're drafting these cards. You play the cards. It gives you some pieces to put on the board, and you're trying to build patterns of those pieces. There's like 4 different colors, and they're also different shapes, but the 4 colors of pieces. And the top half of the card that you play tells you what pieces you get to put on the board. The bottom half of the card is what shapes you're going to score. So there's kind of a play between when do I play the card to get the pieces, but also want to be able to score the bottom of the card as well. So sometimes you have to play a card just to get the pieces, but you're not going to score anything on the bottom, and maybe you want to hold on to a card until you build a lot of the same patterns, because basically every time that pattern shows up on your player board, you get points. So you may hold the card for a while until you build 2 or 3 of those patterns, and then play it to score several patterns. But then you're holding that card and may have pieces at the top that you need to build a pattern for a different card. So it's another kind of abstract puzzly game. I think Rebecca enjoyed it. It was meh to me, but Azul's meh to me as well. So take that into consideration. It's extremely puzzly. It's a lot of thinking. Okay, how you got to play the cards in a certain order to get the right pieces, to get the right patterns, and people that like puzzle type games like Azul, well, this is right up their alley. All right, no animals on Reef, but you can pretend there's fish. All right, onward to number 2. One moment. Number 2. Number 2 is Gold Fever. So this is one of the new games from Stronghold Games. It was also a free game we got for going on the cruise. So basically, the way the cruise worked is if you went on one of the Board Game Geek sponsored excursions, you got a free Stronghold game that was themed to that excursion. So Gold Fever was themed to Juneau, which obviously is where one of the big gold rushes happened. So Gold Fever is just a straight pressure luck game. Basically, you put a bunch of gems in a bag, and you're pulling out gems, and you're trying not to bust. And the first one to pull all the pieces of gold out of their bag wins. So it's really super light, quick to play. We knocked out, I think, 3 games of this during the wait before the opening ceremony. So it's a fun little game. It didn't blow me away, but it's kind of a sitting around the table, chatting and goofing around kind of game. It's not anything serious. There's not much strategy. I mean, it's completely pressure luck. That's pretty much all there is to it. So it's a good game. Tom Vassell doesn't like fun. Yeah. All right. So onward to number 3. One moment. Number 3 is, I'm sure Rebecca's commenting in the chat about what her opinion of these games are. So number 3 is Majesty. So this is one of the ones I've been waffling on, because I heard it was a Splendor killer, but I'm mad on Splendor. Rebecca likes Splendor, so that's why I kind of waffled. Like, I don't think I'll like it. She might like it. I waffled on getting this back and forth, and so we played it. And actually, I enjoyed it. It was, I enjoy it more than Splendor. I'm not sure where Rebecca falls on which one she likes better, Splendor or this. The reason they're compared is because it's, I guess it's similar weight, but it really doesn't feel like Splendor to me. Like I said, it's similar weight. A lot of people compare it to Splendor, but it's not. You're not like collecting resources and turning those resources to get cards. It's not like that. There's more, you're drafting cards, and then the cards, basically when you play a card, you get victory points or different things based on when you play the card, and it could chain off several other cards. So it's just a straight card drafting game, tableau building. I guess that's maybe more the similarity is. You get cards and you put them in a tableau, but it's not. It's very different. It's a different game, in my opinion. But I enjoyed it. It's better than Splendor to me, but it's similar weight. It's really light, really fast, easy to learn, easy to play. All right. So, onward. Number 4. I'm going to try to go through these quicker. There's a lot to get to. All right. Next one is another one I've been waffling on, since Rebecca seems to like the word waffle. Colony. So, Colony... this one, so we really like, this is a dice placement game. Basically, you roll dice and you use those dice to draft cards and do various things with them. It reminds me, from what I've seen, it reminded me a lot of Artifacts Inc., which is another dice placement game, card drafting type game. And we really, really like Artifacts Inc., so I was like, okay, this sounds like a great thing. It's kind of got post-apocalyptic theme, maybe-ish. It really has no theme. And it's similar to Artifacts Inc., but then it's got really extreme mixed reviews. Some people hated it, some people enjoy it. I just couldn't get a good feel for what the game's like, so I decided to play it, and it's meh. I prefer Artifacts Inc. over this. You roll a lot more dice in this game. It has just maybe a hair more going on than Artifacts Inc. And it's like Dominion with dice to me. Basically, you roll dice to draft cards, to roll more dice, to draft more cards, and eventually someone wins. Wasn't much to it. I just didn't like it. It's okay. It's an okay game. I think the only thing it's got going for it, one thing it's got going for it is like Dominion, is you have a bunch of different cards and you only play with a certain number. So there's some replayability there, and if you like dice, so Dominion with dice, I guess. But as weird as it may sound, I think I would actually prefer Dominion over Colony. So, any questions? All right, no questions. We'll move on to the next one. All right, next up is Burgle Brothers. So, Burgle Brothers, Rebecca's been like hounding me to play this game for a while, and for whatever reason, we just never gotten around to playing it. It's co-op, so that's already got a mark against it in my book because I'm not a big co-op person. But usually, if Rebecca really loves a game, I at least enjoy it. So we gave it a shot, and I did not like it at all. I felt it was way too random for a game that I wouldn't say it's long, but it's got a lot going on in it. It is just way random. Now we may have got a bad play of it, but we basically lost because basically the premise of the game is you're breaking into a building and you're trying to steal a bunch of stuff out of various safes and get out of the building or get out of the top of the building before the guards find you. And there's all kinds of alarms and different things, and you can hack systems and all kinds of stuff. But we just had a situation where we got a bad card pull, and the guard walked past Rebecca like 2 times in a row, or may even been 3 times in a row, and we lost. It was over. So we went through all this, and boom, we just a bad card pull lost the game for us. Now, I understand if we own this game, we just reset it up. It has quite a bit of setup, in my opinion, for as light a game as it is. We can set it up and play again, but we were done at that point. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Rebecca may feel differently, but it kind of took the wind out of our sails when we got that weird random card draw and lost the game. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so there's Burgle Brothers. Yeah, I give it a meh. I might try it again. Maybe. Alright, next up is Quest for El Dorado. Quest for El Dorado. It's one of those games we haven't had a chance to try. It's kind of a race game where you're racing across these tiles. Basically, it's a series of tiles, and you're trying to get to the end, and there's various terrain you have to cross. And it's kind of a card drafting deck building deck building system where you play cards and use those cards to traverse the terrain to eventually get to El Dorado at the end. And I really enjoyed this one. It's a fun little deck builder. I was pleasantly surprised when I was reading the rules and setting it up. I thought, oh, well, this doesn't seem like there's much to it, but it was actually a lot of fun. Rebecca and I played 2-player. The 2-player variant is you have to take 2 guys to the end instead of 1. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. And it came down to the last card. It got exciting towards the end. There's a lot of strategy in how you build your deck, and you have ways to, like in a lot of deck builders, to trash cards that aren't as efficient. And it was really fun little light game. It's a great little family game. I can see why it was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres. Spiel des Jahres. See why it was nominated. It's a great game. I enjoyed it. One of the best ones of the trip. So, all right, let's move on to next. Next up is another one we've been waffling on, Isle of Skye. So this one won the Kenner Spiel a couple years ago, maybe, I want to say. Isle of Skye, it's a auction-based game where you're auctioning off tiles. It has kind of if you played Castles of Mad King Ludwig, it has that kind of players price the tiles and the other players purchase from them, and whatever the other players don't buy, you have to buy. So you kind of balance between how much do you want to charge for it, because you potentially end up paying for that tile. So you'll get 3 tiles. 1 you can just axe and get rid of immediately, and then 2 you put up for auction. You have to put at least a price of 1 on each of those, and then the other players purchase tiles from each other, and whatever you're left in front of you, you have to keep and pay the price for. It worked, honestly, for an auction game. It worked fairly well 2-players. I was surprised that it worked well 2-player, and I assume it works even better with more players. I liked how there's various I don't know if they're achievements, but kind of goals that you make. There's 5 different goals, and there's different combinations of goals you have to achieve each round. And I think I can't remember how many rounds, 7, 8 rounds. And so you can kind of diversify, and you want to try to get the lead in at least some of those. And it was a fun little tile placement game. I usually like auction games, and it's rare that a 2-player auction game worked, and it did. So, Isle of Skye, that one's it's a maybe purchase. I want to try it with more than 2 and see how it goes. All right, onward. A lot of these. Next up is, oh boy, here's where the hate comes. Next up is Ethnos. So we've heard amazing things about Ethnos. It's awesome and great and wonderful and over the top. But I heard it doesn't work well 2-player. So we tried it 2-player, and it fell crazy flat, like ridiculously flat. I was this close to suggesting that we just pack it up and don't finish. I did not like Ethnos. It is not visually appealing. The strategy is not. It's more tactical, I guess, than strategic. I didn't like that the artwork on the cards is each race has one picture and 1 ability. So basically the way it works is you take all these races and you shuffle up and you make a big deck out of all those races, and then you're drafting cards kind of Ticket to Ride style-ish, and you're doing set collections, so you get a certain number of cards, you play them down, and then you can put one of your tokens on the board in an attempt to do an area control for that location. I want to say that I would like to think that it's because we played it 2-player, but I don't envision enjoying it with more players. This is just not my game. Rebecca doesn't like area control to start with, and I just didn't enjoy it. I just felt that there needed to be more powers. So basically you make a deck of 4 races, so you have 4 powers and that's it. There's no other things. There needed to be more, I guess. Maybe I'm I want more meat to the game, I guess. It's almost like, it almost feels like a filler to me in the terms of weight, and it's too long for a filler. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to. Maybe someone can convince me to try it with more than 2 players. But it basically, in the 2-player game, you play two ages, 2 eras, whatever. After the first one, I was about to say, Rebecca, you just want to just pack this one up. So, ethnos. So, next is jumping to the other end to a game we really, really enjoyed, and that is Space Base. This is a fairly new game. Someone mentioned Machikoro in terms of Colony. Maybe we're talking about Colony when they mentioned Machikoro. This one is Machikoro Plus. This one, I really like this one. I'm pretty sure Rebecca really liked this one. This one went over really well. So basically, it is very similar to Machikoro, but I guess it's like Machikoro Plus. So you have a tableau in front of you numbered from 1 to 12, and you have cards in each one of those locations. So when you roll, on your turn, you roll 2 dice, and you can either add them together or you can use them separately to trigger the effects of all those different locations. At the same time, your other players can use those dice to trigger the secondary power of their locations if they have one. And then you can go and draft, you get money, and you draft more cards. And when you get a card, let's say it's a 7, you replace your 7 location. That card flips upside down and slides under your board, and now that gives you a secondary power. And now the card you just drafted is the primary power of that location. And it's just a race to a certain number of victory points. It's a light game. It's fun. It has that feel of Machikoro. Is do you concentrate on a few numbers and get some really good rolls, or do you diversify through your whole board? Do you go for money early to buy bigger cards, or do you go for victory points right off the bat? Some of the cards can trigger victory points if you roll them. Or do you go money first and then switch gears and go victory points at the end, but then maybe it's too late at that point to catch up to your opponent. So it just has things I like. I like the dice rolling. I like you got the choice between adding together or doing each. I like the idea of building a really diverse board, or do you focus in on a few numbers and make them extremely powerful? Just a really, really solid game. I really enjoyed it. All right. Onward. Not getting a ton of questions in the chat, but Rebecca's responding to most of them. So, thank you, Rebecca. All right. Next up, someone asked about 18XX, and here it is, 1889. I played 1889 with someone that was an 18XX expert. So, let me say this. I wouldn't say crushed, but I got beat fairly well because in 1889, this game, I played 1846, I want to say. That one kind of was a slow burn. You kind of just build up a little bit, and you buy some new trains, and you build some track, and you kind of cruise along. This game is boom, 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 and then before you know it, the game's over. But we didn't play the whole game. We played half a game, so we got halfway through the game. I was definitely behind, but I think I was in a slightly better position in the long run because I had 2 companies and they were both fairly solid. He had 3 or 4 companies, but we kind of stopped and talked about it because we had to leave for dinner. So we kind of just said, let's call it and talk about what happened. So I was in a good position, I think, long term, but he would have won if he didn't go bankrupt. So he had 4 companies, and the way it works in 18XX, if any of your companies are without a train, basically you have to buy it out of your personal money. And if you can't pay for out of your personal money, then you have to start selling stock until you can buy trains for all your companies. At some point, I think he would have struggled to get trains for all 4 companies. So I would have either won through him going bankrupt, or he would have won by just surviving. Because if he kept all 4 companies afloat, I don't think I could have caught him. So, 1889 is a tighter game. It's a smaller board. It works fairly well with lower player counts. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think I prefer the stock market system in this game as opposed to the other game. This game seems like it's more balanced between trains and stock market, whereas the other game I played seemed fairly heavy on the trains, and the stock market was a lesser aspect. It had a 2D. The stock market was, I guess, 2-dimensional. So our stock market just goes along. This one had kind of, you go up and to the side, and it's a little more complicated stock market. There's more going on with that. So I enjoyed that more. I think I would enjoy this game more than 1846, both for the stock market aspect and as the speed of the game. So 1889. I really enjoyed it. It was really awesome. I kind of was curious to see how it would have played out, to see if he could have kept all his companies afloat, because I think I could have used some strategies to force him to buy trains sooner than he needs to, if you're familiar with the game, and maybe force him in a situation where he can't afford a train for all 4 of his companies. So who knows? I think I still would have lost, because he knew his stuff. He knew what was going on. So onward. Next up is the hotness. Is it the hotness? Century Eastern Wonders. This is the I wouldn't say sequel, but the new game in the Century line. So you have Century Spice Road. Now you have Century Eastern Wonders. Century Eastern Wonders is very, very similar to Spice Road, but instead of doing cards for the most part, it's more of a spatial aspect of you're driving trains around, not trains, ships, trains. Driving ships around the board and floating, I don't know. And wherever you end up, it kind of is like you played a card. So basically, you go to a location, you put one of your huts, markets, whatever you want to call it there, and then it gives you an action similar to a Century Spice Road card. So maybe you go to a spot and you can trade 2 yellow for 3 green or whatever. Whatever, very similar to the cards in Spice Road. So they're very, very similar, but I greatly prefer Eastern Wonders over Spice Road, just because I like the strategy of moving your ship around, because you may need to do a transaction that's all the way across the board, and you got to kind of plan ahead. You got to maneuver your way over there and utilize the route as best you can to get to the other side of the board. Whereas with Spice Road, you just have a hand of cards and you play the one you want. So there's a little more strategy and tactics with Eastern Wonders. And then, of course, you can take the 2 games and combine them together, and I enjoyed that as well. So if I was to order them, I'd say Eastern Wonders I like the best, the combined game I like second best, and Spice Road I like the least. But I enjoy them all. They're all great games. So, but I'm looking forward to the 3rd game to see how it plays, because I'm just curious. But they work really well together. Basically, when you in the combined game, you utilize the cards in Spice Road for your movement. So you basically have to discard cards to move around. They're kind of almost like action points in a way. The cards are. You don't actually use what the cards do for you. Maybe you can. But anyway, I can't remember. But it takes the cards, and it basically you play Eastern Wonders, but it integrates the cards into that game. So I think if you like Spice Road, or if you really like Spice Road, I think you'll like Eastern Wonders as well, and I think you'll really enjoy the combined game. So there you go. That they say is that. One thing I do suggest though is there's a Century Spice Road playmat that obviously you can't use for Eastern Wonders, and then there's the Eastern Wonders playmat that you can use for Eastern Wonders and Spice Road, either combined or separately. I'm not going to buy either one, because I got a feeling that 3rd game is going to give you a playmat that you can use for all 3. I'm just guessing. That's my guess, is that the 3rd playmat will have whatever the 3rd game is, Eastern Wonders and Spice Road, all on the same playmat. And you can play all 3 games separately on that playmat, or you can play the games combined on that playmat. That's just my guess. So I'm holding off buying a playmat for either game until I see what the third game has. All right, here we go. Next up is... Wow, have I already gone through all the games? Wow. Last but not least, my favorite game. Someone asked what was my favorite game I played at BGG at Sea, and here it is. It is Coimbra? Coimbra? I don't know. Coimbra. Anyway. Love that game. I love that the game was awesome. I really, really, really enjoyed this game. It reminded me a lot of Lorenzo. The fact that you're rolling dice, you're drafting. In this game, you actually draft the dice. You use those dice to do actions, to draft cards, to build out a tableau, kind of similar to you do with Lorenzo. Awesome game. Love this game. This one's an insta-buy. Really enjoyed it. So if you like mid to heavy, I wouldn't say heavy, slightly above mid-weight Euro games, if you like dice drafting, dice placement, basically worker placement games, it's got kind of like Orleans. It's got an aspect of you're moving a token, a worker guy, I guess you would call it, around the board and taking actions at various locations. So it's got the kind of the map like Orleans has, where you're moving a guy around, and it has the card drafting and the tableau building. It's got I don't know if achievement's right word, but basically it's like in Terraforming Mars, where you can opt in to get victory points for having a certain amount of achieving certain tasks. So you can opt into different goal cards, and there's a ton of extra goal cards. There's lots of extra of those, so it got some replayability there. Really amazing game. Awesome. Highly recommend it if you like mid to mid plus Euro games. This is a game for you. So that's all the games except for one. So that's the unboxing. So we're going to go straight into the unboxing. And here, Rebecca would probably guess what this is, because it's the only game I didn't talk about. So this was, I enjoyed this game so much. Now it's slightly, just barely below Coimbra as my favorite game of the trip. And I immediately went online and looked for it, and I couldn't find it. It looked like it was out of print. But I found it on the publisher's site. So if you're looking for this game and you can't find it anywhere, go to the publisher's site to buy it. And that game is... Moment. It's a big one. Oh. Oh. Venus? It's the it's in the line of Gallerist and Lisboa from La Certa. Awesome, heavy Euro game. We really enjoyed this one. This one, Rebecca says it's her favorite one. I would have to agree. This is my favorite one of his. The three that we've played. I don't know if he has more than three. Of the three we played, Gallerist, Lisboa, and this is our favorite one of his. It's a really awesome game. It's about the wine industry. It's like viticulture on steroids. It's got a cool mechanism where you it's basically action selection. So there's like a little grid, a 3x3 grid, and you have a worker, and basically you move your worker around this grid to take the action of the location. And if you go to a location that's adjacent to you, it doesn't cost anything. Unless the other player that is there, then you have to pay money. Or if you can go across you can skip spaces that aren't adjacent, but you have to pay money for that as well. So there's some planning going on of you moving around the board. Really tight game. I like that there's basically events. I guess I don't know what they're actually called with the weather. And basically, like at the start of each month, you have a certain kind of weather, and it either makes the wine producing good or bad. There's just a lot going on with this game. It was awesome. So, highly recommend this one if you like viticulture and you're looking for a little more heavier game. If you like Gallerist and or Lisboa, I recommend this game. If you just like heavy Euro games, I recommend this game. So it's a great one. Very excited. Very excited. Oh, we got Coimbra up. Oh my gosh, Rebecca, why didn't you tell me Coimbra's up? Killing me. All right, I'll move it. Now you can actually see it. It's almost already open. So, this is the deluxe version of the game. Let me tell you what the difference is. If you just buy the regular Vinos, if it's even available, it's got the new rules. I guess the 2016 reprint rules only. If you buy the deluxe version, I don't know if the components are better, but you get the original game with slight modification. I think there was like a fix. There was like a rules fix they did. So it's the original game with a slight modification, plus the reprint 2016 version. So you get both versions of the game. The board's double-sided. So if you want to play the original game, you use one side of the board and some different components. If you want to play the new version of the game, you flip the board over and use some slightly different components. My understanding from reading the rules, the 2016 version is a little more streamlined, slightly lighter. The 2010 version is heavier and slightly more, I don't know if fiddly is the right word, but there's more stuff that you have to deal with and track. So get both versions of the game. We played the 2016 version and loved it. Obviously, at some point, we're going to try the 2010 version and see what that's like as well. So, highly recommended this one. This is a good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. This is... Anyway. There you go. Vinos. Alright. Let me scroll back and see what we got. Oh, wait. The game we ordered on the cruise, it beat us home. So, it was waiting on our doorstep when we got home. Luckily, there was no... rogue board game thieves stealing random boxes off our porch. So, fire the IT guy. Pretty much. All right, so let me see where I am. We're 48 minutes in. Let's see what we got. We've done this. We've done this. We've done this. We've done this. So, I'm going to talk briefly. I said I was going to talk about the channel. I'm briefly going to talk about the channel. So, this is part celebration, part rant. So we're going to go should we go rant first or celebration first? We'll go rant first, then we'll do celebration. Always end with a positive, right? So we were sitting at 990 plus subscribers about a month and a half ago. The second we hit 1,000. I can't guarantee we hit 1,000, but basically we were at 999 when I went to bed. I woke up and we'd lost like 10 subscribers overnight. I could not figure out what happened. Like what is going on? So I read up on it, and YouTube purges stale subscribers occasionally, and I would bet any amount of money that overnight we hit 1,000 and it immediately kicked in a purge of our old subscribers. And we've been on a purge ever since. So basically we'll gain a subscriber, we'll lose 2 subscribers. We'll gain 3 subscribers, we'll lose 4 subscribers. We'll gain a subscriber, we'll lose 2 subscribers. That has been going continually for a month and a half now. And finally, just through sheer just pushing and pushing and pushing, we finally broke 1,000 subscribers. So yay! And the purge may have stopped. I don't know if it has, or maybe there's a period of time where we don't have stale subscribers. I don't know what's going on, but basically, we consistently for over, I want to say almost a year and a half, we consistently got 20 to 40, I want to say, subscribers a month. For a period of a 1 month period, we got 0 subscribers. Net 0 subscribers. So we're over 1,000. Hooray! We've made it. But I'm not optimistic about us staying over 1,000 just because I don't know how the purging works. I don't know if it was a temporary thing. I don't know if it's a continual thing now that we're reached 1,000. I don't know how it works. I do know, I've done some research. They say that if you don't comment on a video or like a video from a person you're subscribed to for a period of time, they consider you inactive and will basically unsubscribe you even though you're showing as subscribed. That's what I read. I mean, this is all conjecture from what people have seen. Obviously, bigger channels than ours, and it's just weirdness. But we made it. We're happy. We finally made 1,000. Hooray! So in celebration of that, Rebecca ran into 2 of our viewers. I think, from what I recall, their names being Jasmine and Jeffrey at Dice Tower Con, and they made a cool, awesome drawing of our channel, and I'm going to share that with you. It was really, really unexpected and really, really cool. Let me show that. Where did I put it? Here we go. So they made a little, cool little picture of our channel. It shows our channel name, obviously 100K subscribers, and I guess that's Drake, and I assume I'm Drake, I'm guessing, and then you got, I assume the little one's Nessa, and then Katie and Rebecca. So really, really super cool. We're so overwhelmed that they did that for us. We met them actually at the previous Dice Tower Con, last year's Dice Tower Con. They stopped and talked to us and took a photo with us. Really super nice people, and we're just blown away that someone would do this for us. So awesome. I'm going to probably ask if we can make this into a logo. So I think this would be an awesome logo. I mean, obviously take out the YouTube-ish stuff, but kind of use that middle picture and maybe put Family Showdown on it. I just think that'd be awesome logo. And it has, I don't know if sentimental is the right word, but really it means something to us more than just a random logo. So awesome. We were really blown away. Really too cool. We got the greatest viewers, and anyway, don't want to get all choked up, but it's awesome. It's stuff like this makes doing all this worthwhile, right? All right, so I've officially checked everything off my list, but I'm not done, because wait, there's more. So next Tuesday, I don't know if Rebecca will be here, so if she does get here for next Tuesday, she can be my heckler sitting beside me. If she's not here, then I'll be going it alone. I'm going to do my top 10 new-to-me games that I've played so far this year. So top 10 games that I played for the first time in 2018. These aren't necessarily published in 2018, although there will be some of those. Top 10 games I've played so far this year. And if Rebecca's here, she can comment, and if she's really here, she can put together a list herself. So there you go. That's what we're going to do next Tuesday. But as a bonus, so this is when we normally would be wrapping up things. As a bonus, I'm going to take you on in Onitama. Internet versus Hunter in Onitama. One moment. Alright, if you get motion sickness, this is the time to look away. Because here we go. Alright. Alright, here we go. Hold on one moment. Gonna bring in the webcam. It's me. Alright. So, first thing we need to do is you guys need to decide on a captain who will have the final say on the moves. While that's going on, I'm going to tell you how to play Onitama. So this is how you play. So it's very similar to chess. You have some kind of pawns here, and you have your leader. And then the other side has pawns and leader. The blue is you, red is me. And I built a grid here. So A, B, C, E is the rows, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the column. So if you're familiar with chess, if you wanted to move this piece from here, it would be E1 to D2. All right. The way the game works, though, is there's 5 cards. There's 2 cards at the bottom which start as your cards. Then there's 2 cards here that are start as my cards, and then there's 1 kind of neutral card off to the side. So the way it works is on your turn, you will look at your 2 cards and decide which one you want to do, which card you want to play, and which piece you want to move. So, for example, if you do bear, the bear you can move forward 1, or you can move forward and to the left 1, or you can move back and to the right 1. So, for example, if I wanted to play the bear card with this piece, I can. The only option I have is to move straight ahead, because obviously if I do the other way, it would take me off the board, and the other one would take me off the board. If I wanted to move this piece, I can move here or here with the bear card, but obviously I can't move backwards with the bear card. For the Karen your card here, so if you want to move this piece, you're going to move 2 ahead and 1 over, so you could move here, but you can move here, and obviously you can't move back. So you pick which card you want to use and which piece you want to move. You don't have to tell me which card you're using, just tell me where you're going to move. So for example, if you want to use the Karen for this guy, you could say E2 to C1 and move here. Okay? You could also move E2 to C3 with the Karen card. Okay? Once you pick the card and once you moved your piece, so for example, let's say you use this card to move this piece to here. This card goes away, and this card here becomes your card. And now you have a new card to play with, and then this one comes over here. Then it would be my turn, and I would use one of my 2 cards. Let's say I use the otter. I would take that card, and now your card now becomes my card. Okay? Alright. Let me put these back the way they were. Alright. And the way you win the game, the goal of the game is to either capture your opponent's leader. Forget what his name is. Sensei? I don't know. You either capture your opponent leader by moving over and capturing it. Okay? Or you get your leader all the way to the other person's base. Whatever you want to call it. Their whatever this is. So if you move your person into that spot, you win. So if you kill the other person's leader, that's called the Way of the Stone. And if you get your person into the other person's base, it's called the Way of the Stream. Two different ways to win the game. All right, that's pretty much it. I know that was very quick and very fast. So if you have any questions, let me know. The way you determine who goes first is if you look at the neutral card. Where's the camera? Here. If you look at the neutral card, there's a color down here at the bottom that tells you which player goes first. So I'm actually going to go first. And basically you can tell whose turn it is by the direction of the card this card's facing. If it's facing towards me, it's my turn. If it's facing towards you, it's your turn. Okay? So, any questions? I know I did that really quick. Oh, so one's upside down. All right, there we go. Any questions? What we got here? Blah, 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 blah. Rebecca is your leader? Are you serious? Let me back up here. Rebecca! I'm taking Rebecca on? Oh my goodness. Alright. Alright. Here we go, folks. Hunter versus the Internet. Onitama. Bonus coverage. A little bonus thing. Alright, here we go. So I am going to... I will move here. Using Otter to move forward and diagonal. Forward and diagonal. Now this goes... Turtle becomes mine, and Otter goes here. And is your move. Hopefully you guys can read the board. Looking at my playback, it looks like it's pretty clear. I know it may be a little difficult to tell the rows, where the rows are. Hopefully it's not too bad. E3 to D3. E3. Moving your leader, dude? E3 to D3. Okay. Yell at me if I do your move wrong. Okay. Okay, interesting. See what you're doing. Going for the quick win. I'm impressed. All right. What am I going to do though? So we're going to go here. All right, I'm going to play the turtle. I'm going to do this with turtle. Oop, sorry. Killed your dude. There's not a 30-second delay. There is about a 5-second delay. And it is indeed a lava turtle. You want to see what it reads? It says, within your sphere of power, your art remains supreme. Engage your opponents and deflect his strikes. That's turtle. Bear's upside down. Sorry. Dun, 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 dun. Don't know what to talk about. What you guys are thinking. So, what should we think? What should we talk about? So, at the end of this month, on July 28th, I want to say, we're having our 7th annual board game tournament. 7th annual board game tournament. Very excited. Very excited. E5 to D4. There we go. Otter. Now you have turtle power. All right, I am going to monkey. That was a bad play. Oh well. Such is life. Bad play. Going to stream the tournament. I don't know. There's a lot of people that might not want to be streamed. We'll definitely be tweeting out pictures and such. I don't know. A couple years ago, I want to say, I recorded the tournament, and it got like almost nobody watched it. And so like quite a bit of work to put that together. So I don't know. I might consider going live during the last game if it's close. So if it's really close, we might stream live the last game. I'll consider doing that maybe. What games are being played? It's not decided yet. So, I don't know. But we are going to do something different this year. In prior years, what we did was, however many players there were, we played games that pretty much everyone could play. So, we usually get between 6 and 8 people usually for it. And so we always played games that played 6 to 8 players. So I'm going to try something different this year. I'm going to mix in some games that play less and play the games multiple times and then take the scores from those games. So, for example, we might play, trying to think of a random game that has points. Royals, maybe Royals. I think that has points. So basically, we break up into two groups, and one group will play one game, another group will play another game, and then we swap over. And then you take the score, everybody's scores from those games, and rank them. So basically, take all the scores for Royals and rank them from 1 to whatever. That way we can mix in some games that aren't... Because most of the games we play are party-ish kind of games, really super light party games. I want to mix in some kind of a little bit slightly heavier games this year. So we're going to trick that up a little bit. Did we get an answer? D3 to D1. D3 to D1. Oh, okay. Well, you took away my plan to beat you. Now I gotta completely rethink what I was gonna do. Let's see what's different. Not giving me that Karen. Let's see what you got. You're going to take my little pawn. Poor little pawn's going to get monkeyed unless I do something. So let's do something. Let's move. Let's move. Let's move. We'll move here, and can use either card. Use either card, so we will use the bear. $18.46 for the tournament. That would be awesome, but that would be the entire tournament. Try not to look too much at the chat so you guys don't get, so I don't get you guys' strategy. So I'm kind of staring at the webcam, but it's hard for me to tell when you guys have decided on a move. So. So I'm excited about the tournament. What else is coming up? Birthday, August. Very excited. Don't know what I'm doing. Dice Hour Con is this week. If you haven't figured that out. Very excited. Rebecca's going to be in a few things. They're going to be live streaming several things. They'll be live streaming Magical Athlete, I think, tomorrow night. I don't know what days they are. They're going to be live streaming the awards, Dice Tower Awards. They're going to be live streaming a top 5 list. They're going to be live streaming, what am I missing? Jack Vashel auction. As far as I know, Rebecca's in the Magical Athlete, I think, and she's in the Dice Tower Awards, so check those out. They're all going to be in the evening, I want to say around 7-ish Central, which would be 8 Eastern. Monkey, E2 to D3. Monkey, E2 to D3. Oh, you took my piece! So mean. So mean. So mean. Alright, let's start all over again. Let's see. Hmm. Well. I'll go here with the otter. So, check those out. What else is going on? Guess we talk about the cruise. So, the cruise went to. There's 3 stops. We stopped in Juneau, Alaska, Skagway, Alaska, and Victoria, Canada. I thought we were going to Vancouver for some reason, but no, it's Victoria, Canada. I don't think you can see my shirt, but anyway, Victoria, Canada. I stole Rebecca's shirt. So in Juneau, Juneau, you know what happened in Juneau? In Juneau, bear D4 to C4. Bear D4, C4. D4 to C4. Oh, you're so mean. Why are you so mean to me? So mean. So mean to me. So you're gonna get one or the other of my pieces. Oh, and in this game, there's no like guard your king type thing. Let's see, what's my best way to get out of this mess? Well, I could. You're going to take this one. Can't take that one, okay? You can take that one with that. Okay. So if I move there. Well, you got me caught in a spot. What's my best play? If I go there, you can take that. There's nothing I can do about it. If I go there, you can take that, and I can get you in return. Alright, so I'm going to go, oh, wow, so brutal. That was a good play. I'm only left with one move. And it's not a good move. So I'm going to go here with Turtle. Turtle saved the day! Oop, bear's upside down. Turtle saved the day! You had a double way to kill me. I almost missed that. That was pretty smooth. That was pretty smooth. I almost missed that. I was going to go here. Then this guy over here could have got me. I thought I could go here, and then if you take this guy, then I can use the how was I going to get you? Turtle to get you back. C4 to A3. C4 to A3. That doesn't win. You have to get your big guy. The big guy has to get in the base, so you might want to rethink that. I'll let you take it back. So, in Juno, I lost track. I wasn't looking. I got distracted. So in Juno, what we did, there was this Board Game Geek sponsored excursion at each location. And in Juno, the excursion was a salmon bake. So they basically kind of drove us around town. There's not much to the town. It's fairly small. For our capital city, it's fairly small. And we saw like bald eagles like all over the place. We saw probably half dozen or more bald eagles. And we went to salmon bake, and the food was off the charts amazing. We had salmon, fresh cooked salmon, had this honey brown sugar glaze on it. It was delicious. And we had just kind of standard fixings. We had like beans and scalloped potatoes and stuff, and there was some cake. And they had stuff to make s'mores. It was really cool. And just like right around the corner from where the salmon bake was, there's a waterfall. It was one of the pictures that was in the montage. It was Rebecca and I at the waterfalls where we reverse photobomb Bonacore. And that was really cool, really amazing. And then in Skagway, we walked around the town, and then we also went on a train ride up through the mountains. It was off the charts awesome. It was, took us through the mountains. We saw a glacier, we saw mountains, we saw a forest, we saw all these old mining areas. Went through couple tunnels, I think. And we went up from like sea level way up into the mountains. It was really cool. And then we just when we went up there, the engine unlocked and came around and went to the other side and took us right back down. So it was really, really cool. So that was amazing. And then we skipped the short excursion in Victoria. It was there's some gardens in Victoria that's supposed to be amazingly beautiful, but I thought we would just kind of do our own thing. And it was good because I was completely exhausted at that point. I actually slept in, and Rebecca left early. Kind of did her own thing a little bit. She went to a museum, and I kind of followed behind, a couple hours behind, and kind of walked around town as well. We kind of did our own thing, and then we met up right at the end and took a bunch of pictures on the beach where there's a bunch of driftwood that was really cool. So that was a really cool day. It was really relaxing. We kind of, like I said, we kind of did our own thing, kind of wandered around town, and we got to eat poutine, which was delicious. I wasn't sure how it would taste. It's basically French fries, gravy, and cheese curds, and it was super crazy delicious. And then we came home, went to Seattle, and we actually took a day trip out to Mount Rainier, which was beautiful. It was cloudy, so we didn't get to really see the mountain. We saw it on the way in, to the park. We saw the mountain in the distance, and we snapped a picture of it. And then once we got there, it was cloudy and we couldn't see the mountain, but it was still the forest and everything, and what we got to see was just beautiful. So they're still thinking, if you follow, after the fact, if you're watching this after the fact, you can look in the chat, they're discussing their moves, and I'm glancing over occasionally to make sure that Rebecca hasn't said what their move is. I don't really want to look at their strategy, but I got to know when they move. So that was awesome. I don't know if we'll do a BGG cruise again. The reason I say this is my gut tells me that we're going to enjoy the Dice Tower cruise more, because just like BG Con in a way, BGG cruise was similar. Everyone kind of came with their own game groups. They had people they planned to play games with and stuff like that. So it's kind of a little harder to break into play with other people, which we did. We were able to play games with other people, but it's very game group centric. And I think Dice Tower cruise, obviously we're going to know a lot more people there, and a lot more people are going to know us, and I just think it's going to be much more interactive and more inviting and more friendly, and that'll probably be our cruise. And I don't know if we'll go every year. I would love to go every year. It just really depends on scheduling. What the heck? Okay, E1 to E3. They finally did a move, I think. E1 to E3. That's Karen, right? Right? Otter. How can you do Otter E1 to E3? You can't do E1 to E3 Otter. Otter would be... oh! My bad. I'm dumb. Alright, E1 to E3 Otter. Good. Done. My bad. I keep thinking that these are the ones and these are the letters for some reason. E1 to E3. Done. Alright. What's going to happen now? Man, you do not want to give that Karen up, man. Let's see. Don't want to give... Let's see what I want to do. Hey, Smokey. Alright. Well, Decisions. You can take that piece, but I can guard it. I'm going to go here. Maybe? Yeah, what the heck? With Monkey. Monkey! We're talking about a Karen? Karen is... There is art and grace, art and discernment, art and discernment, art in sensing the truth, pierce the veil of the shadow, and strike your opponent from a place of enlightenment. All I know is that Karen in a D&D is like a horse, weird horse-looking sea creature thing. Alright, so that was the trip. What else can I talk about while they're thinking? Let's see. Oh, I did another poll over on, if you're not a member of the Dice Tower Facebook group, I did another poll for my next By the Numbers segment, which I'll be filming this weekend from Monday. And that segment is going to be about, what do you consider a long game? Turtle, C4 to C2. C4 to C2. Oh my goodness, you just got into Karen position. Look at you, sneaky little devil. How can I get out of it? It's the question. I don't know if I can. Maybe I'll just kill you. That's probably what I'll do. So we just trade pieces if I do that. So I'll take you, And then you can take me. Oh. I need to get on the offensive here. It doesn't seem to be working for me. So I've got to either move out. Wow, man, you guys are just got me on the ropes. So you can kill me in 100 different ways. I may just want to trade pieces. Maybe. If I take that, then you can take that. I think I might just want to trade pieces. If I can't move forward, I don't think I have a choice but to trade pieces. Alright, so I'm going to use bear to go here. Sorry for the thumping. Alright, what else can I talk about? I think they pretty much got me. I think, we'll see. We'll see. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, I was talking about so that's going to be my breakfast segment for Blender. I'll be filming that without Rebecca this weekend as well. So I don't recall what the topic is. So I'll be doing Blender alone, and as well be doing my best game of the month this weekend without Rebecca as well. So I'll be doing lots of solo stuff. Do we have an official move? Oh, we have an official move. Monkey D1 to C2. And I think that may be game over. D1 to C2. I think that may be checkmate. Well, let's look. Let's look. See if I can find my way out of this thing. I'm pretty sure that's it. So if I turtle to here, I'm dead. If I otter to here, I'm dead. Oh. Well played, well played, well played. Well played. Yours is a superior intellect. Alright, folks. We've been going a long time. Let me do some technical stuff here. Well done. I like this. I like this. I'm going to remember this and try this again. I think it worked pretty well. So down in the comments, let me know what you thought. I know watching after the fact, guess I'm just make the webcam big. It's not going to be very high resolution, but I don't want to move the camera. So I'll just make the webcam big-ish. Bigger. I'll put Onitama like that. Alright. So there we go. Alright, so I'm going to use the webcam. Sorry for the lower resolution, but I don't want to go around and fix the camera while I wrap up. So, thanks for playing Onitama with me. And again, like I said, if you watch after the fact, let me know if it works. I know there's tons and tons of dead time. I suggest, if you're watching after the fact, load up the chat and follow that, and you can follow along the discussion basically as the video plays of what they're deciding on their moves and how things work. We'll probably do this one again. I like this. It looked like the grid thing worked pretty well as far as being able to figure out how to move and such. So thanks for participating on that part of it. Thanks for sticking around for the whole, I guess we're an hour and a half now. If you watch the whole thing, you get, I don't know, a gold star. You get a gold star if you watch the whole thing. I think I'm going to call it a night. I got to work tomorrow. Again, look for Rebecca on Magical Athlete Live tomorrow night sometime on the Dice Tower. I'm sure they'll have it scheduled over on their channel. Root her on whatever strange character she may be playing. So, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys real soon.